Hey everybody, welcome to the GMAC Show. I'm your host, GMAC, and we are gonna continue the NBA preview, guys. That's right. Like I said, the NBA is right around the corner, guys. I'm super stoked, super excited. Basketball is right here around the corner. Oh man, the hoops, the dunks, the alley oops, the 3 pointers. Oh yeah, let's get into it, guys. Like I said, guys, we're gonna continue keep talking about the Eastern Conference. Um, and the division we're going to talk about today is the Southwest Division, guys. Should be a very interesting and very intriguing division. Let's get into it, of course. First, we're going to talk about the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat got to the NBA Finals last year, got beaten in a gentleman's sweep by the Denver Nuggets. Their team is led by Jimmy Butler. And I'm not going to lie, what was with the deal with Jimmy Butler's hair? That hairdo, boy, wow. That hairdo, Jimmy, I love Jimmy Butler, man. For me, he will always be a Bull for life. But dog, that hair, man, that hair was doing him no justice. You're the leader of this team. What does this hairdo? Oh my god! I'm sorry, that was too funny for words. Of course, they'll be coached by Eric Spoelstra. Eric Spoelstra is a great coach. We know his personal business at the table, of course. His championship experience, so his capability to make adjustments, and how he's been able to push his Miami team over the last couple of years with the roster they've had. With all these undrafted players they had last year. We know they were an AC last year, and they battled all the way through the playing tournament, and went to the grind, going through Milwaukee, of course, and the Knicks, and had a tough fight with the Celtics. But their lack of size did catch up with them in the NBA Final Four against Denver. Will that continue to keep being a problem this year? And also, they did add Thomas Bryant. We know he was with the Lakers last year, and they got traded. They went to Denver, of course, as well. Hopefully, he can add. Hopefully, his size will help them out this year. I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make though, but we'll see. I think he's a good young player, and he did show some promise in LA last year when he did get a chance to play last year. So, but we also know he's had some health problems in his career when he was in Washington, of course, too. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that was one of Miami's biggest problems last year, and it really showed them what was a lack of size last year, and also that their lack of a third scoring option in the finals. We saw that with the loss of Tyler Hero last year. They didn't have him in the playoffs last year. And it really affected him in that finals. When Jimmy Butler didn't play well in the finals last year at times, they needed that third scoring option, and they were looking for who's going to be Strauss. Is it going to be Gabe Vincent? Going to be Caleb Martin? Is it going to be Kyle Lowry? Getting about age? Can it be Kevin Love? You know what I'm saying? And the third option never really emerged for them that well, and it really showed. So they're really going to need Tyler Hero to stay healthy for this year, of course. We know he brings the team. We know about Bam, of course, but Hero's really, in my opinion, is going to have to be the third scoring option on this team because let's be honest. I mean, who's going to be the third scoring option in Miami? Let's be honest. I mean, is it going to be Caleb Martin? Is it going to be either Kyle Lowry or Kevin Love? Thomas Brown, Rest are not exactly, they're role players. They're not exactly the third options you need to be that third scoring option, of course. So Tyler Hero's health is going to be really, really important for them this year. Like I think Miami's still a very good team. They keep surprising every year. Last year's team was an A seed. Can they be a higher seed this year? Not put themselves in the same way they were last season. We're having to battle through the play-in tournament, go through the final like last year. Can they get a higher seed this year? I think they can. They stay healthy, and the pieces they added, play well, and it's all going to come to how much the loss of Strauss events is going to affect this team, of course, as well too. With Jimmy Butler's age finally going to catch up to him, he is getting a little bit older as well too. Like I said, but I look at the Miami Heat, and I think this team can still be a top 5 seed in the East and be a 50+ win team. But if things don't bounce the way again, I can see them battling for a playoff spot. But like I said, this team I believe is still a top contending team. They're a feisty group. They're well coached. Jimmy Butler's a grinder. I'm saying? Bam continues to keep improving, and can Bam continue to keep playing well. Can he build off his NBA final formula? Because he played really well in the finals. He was one of the bright spots in that finals run against Denver last year. Can he build off what he built last year and continue to keep improving this game? That's going to be another big part for them as well too. I think Miami, like I said, Miami can be a top 5 seed this year, 50+ win team if things bounce their way, of course. But we'll have to wait and see. Next team we're going to talk about, guys, is the Charlotte Hornets. Of course, Charlotte Hornets did not make the playoff last year. I don't know what to really think about this team, honestly. Miles Bridges continues to keep having legal criminal problems, of course. We don't know what the stat with him is. I'm not going to go into the whole mumbo jumbo about that, of course. But he is a big loss. He doesn't able to play, and he's out for a stimulus. Who knows? Gordon Hayward. We know Gordon Hayward's a good player, but we know he's had health problems in the past. Can he stay healthy for him? LaMelo. LaMelo's a very talented basketball player, but with LaMelo Ball, is he the franchise player that the Charlotte Hornets are looking for? I mean, I think LaMelo's very talented, and some people think, oh yeah, he's a franchise player. But to me, as part of being a franchise player is being able to show people that you can elevate your play, but elevate the guys around you to get you guys to be able to get in the playoffs, make the playoffs, and show you can compete in the playoffs, make deep playoff runs. But is LaMelo that guy? The question mark is, I don't know. Now, some people say, well, it's not all his fault. It's the roster construction and stuff. I mean, I get it. They do have Terry Rozier. I think Rozier is a very good ball player. We saw him in Boston a while back. I think he's a very solid player. Haywood, I think he's still good, but his age is getting up there. Of course, his injury problems. Bridges continues to keep having, legal issues and crap like that, criminal problems. Pete Watson's a really solid player. I do like the draft pick of Brad Miller, who they drafted in the second round. I think he's a good young prospect with a lot of potential. He did struggle a little bit in the summer league games, but I think he's a young man who can do a good job for them this year, especially in a watch team. I think he gets significant playing time in this group too as well because, I look at this team and I don't see this team as a playoff team, in my opinion. I mean, I think this is a team who's going to be somewhere between, they could be somewhere between like 10 to 13 in the East, in my opinion. I just don't see this team competing for a playoff spot with teams like Boston and Milwaukee, of course, and Miami and Cleveland, and the Knicks, of course, well, too. And I just can't see them. I see them somewhere between the 10 to 13 range. That's where I see them. I see them not being the playoff team this year. I just don't think the construction of the roster is built correctly and properly for them to really be able to make any noise, in my opinion, in the East Conference. I think, at best, I can see them winning maybe 35 games. If they get real lucky, things bounce away, and there's a lot of injuries, maybe they get 40. But I'm being that's me being really good and being really kind. I just don't see that happening. Honestly, of course, that's just my opinion, and that's what I think about the Charlotte Hornets guys. The next team we're going to talk about is the Washington Wizards. This is a team who had a complete overhaul this offseason, man. Let's get into it. Kristaps Porzingis is no longer with the Washington Wizards. He got traded to the Boston Celtics. That's going to be a big loss for him because he gave them the size. He gave them the size they need down below, his scoring, his rebounding ability. We know Porzingis always had some injury problems in the past, of course, for his career, but he had to really bounce back last year. Played really solid for them last year, but they did trade him, so I think it's going to be a big loss for them. We know that Bradley Beal got traded to the Phoenix Suns this offseason. We know Bradley Beal was a very good cornerstone piece for that team for many, many years. But I get why the Washington was traded for him because, first of all, I think Bradley Beal was a very talented ball player, but to me, he was never a franchise player. He's not a guy that, hey, this is a guy who can take my team and he can lead guys and win championships with them. I just didn't see Beal as a ball. Is Beal a good ball player? Absolutely. He was an all-star caliber ball player, 20-plus point scorer. There's no debate about that. But I just never saw him as a superstar that can really rise teams to the next level and elevate the guys around him, of course. Even though this one team had some talent around him last year. But yeah, I can see what I do. So Washington went to a little bit of building mode. They went out and added Tyus Jones, a good young point guard from Memphis, who I really liked. I think he's got great promise for them as well. We got Jordan Poole, who they added for the Golden State Warriors. We know he had some issues in Golden State last year. I know he took a lot of heat last season with the Warriors. He's looking for a fresh start. I think Jordan Poole's a good player. I see him more as a sixth man, and sometimes every now and again can come off the bench and be a starter. Obviously he's going to get more chances, more opportunities here now than he did in Golden State. Obviously, he does bring some championship starts to the table. He helped the Warriors win a championship. Not last year, but the previous year before that. So that hopefully that helps them. Kyle Kuzma had a really good season last year, of course. Can he continue to keep building off what he built last year? Obviously I see him getting a little bit more opportunities now that KCP's gone, and that Porzingis is gone. Sorry, and Bradley Beal are gone, guys. Daniel Gafford, I like him, good young solid big man down below. Corey K, can he continue to keep developing? He showed some great promise last year off the bench as well too. I don't think Washington has a bad team. I think there's a lot of talent on this team as well. They did add Danilo Garnari on the offseason too as well, a veteran presence as well too, who can stretch the floor and play the 3 or 4 possibly if he can stay healthy this year. They did go out at BC, the 7th round pick in the draft. Don't ask me to say his name. He's a French player. I'm not even going to try to put him. I think he's a good young prospect with a lot of potential. He can really help this team. That's in rebuilding mode, in my opinion. I look at Washington. They have talent on this team, of course. Like I said, with Tyus Jones and Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma, of course, and Daniel Gafford and Corey K. Of course, the young prospect they drafted in the draft this year, of course, as well too. This could be a very interesting team, but the problem is, who's the leader of this team? Is it Tyus Jones? Is it Jordan Poole? Is it Kuzma? To me, I don't see a true leader in the team, and I don't really see a true bona fide superstar on this group. And to me, because they lack that, I mean, their team has a lot of nice pieces, but the problem is though is this having a lot of nice pieces, but not having a guy who can lead this team is going to be a problem, especially in a very competitive Eastern Conference when you're competing with teams like Boston and Miami, like I said, and Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and Cleveland, and Knicks, and teams like Atlanta as well too. So I think this team can get challenged for a play-in tournament spot if things bounce their way, and maybe they get a playoff spot if things bounce correctly for them. But I see this team, in my opinion, somewhere between the 9 and 12 range, and maybe challenge for a play-in tournament if things bounce their way. But that's my opinion. That's what I think of the Washington Wizards going into this season. Next team we're going to talk about, guys, is the Orlando Magic. This is another good young team, of course. We have Pablo from last year, who played really well last year. We know he played for Team USA, I think, during the summer in the World Cup for them. He had a good rookie year last year when he rookie of the year last season. Very promising young big man down below. Can he continue to keep proving what he did last year, of course, and build on it some more? I'll see. Franz Wagner, good young player. Love him a lot, though. Great potential. He continues to keep impressing year after year. For as long as he continues building what he's building, you can see a lot of promise for this kid. We know that the Winnicard Jr., I like him a lot. Good young big man down below and stuff like that and stuff. Jonathan Isaacs, good young player too, but he always had trouble staying healthy for this team. Can he stay a little bit healthier? We'll have to wait and see. We know that the Magic have a ton of guys in the backcourt. The backcourt's loaded with guys from Jalen Suggs to Gary Harris, the Cole Anthony. This backcourt has just got guard after guard. I mean, pick a guard around Orlando. Seriously, I mean, come on. And they're all good guards and all right, but which one's going to stick for them? I don't know, and that's my personal opinion. They did go out and add Joe Ingles in the offseason, a veteran presence. He should be a nice addition for the team as well. I look at the Orlando Magic. I see this team being a playing team, a tournament team, in my opinion. And that's my opinion. I still think they're a good young team who's still coming to their own. Is Pablo that franchise player they're hoping to be? Hopefully it is. If he continues to keep playing the way he played last year, keep building, maybe he is their franchise player. But can Wagner be that go-to option next to Pablo, and they continue to be rising together with the rest of the roster? We'll have to wait and see. But from my personal taste, I think Orlando's a playing tournament team at best. And that's my personal opinion. The last team we're going to talk about, guys, is the Atlanta Hawks. That's right, guys. The Atlanta Hawks made the playoffs last year, guys. They pushed the Boston Celtics very hard in the first round of 6 games last year. We all know Trae Young. Trae Young is such a explosive ball player, all-star caliber ball player. We know he's not a great defensive ball player, but his playmaking, his scoring ability always makes Atlanta a very intriguing team, and I think he's very well content for a playoff spot in the East. They went out and added DeJounte Murray last year. He didn't have a bad season last year, of course. He's a pretty good defender, like a good playmaker as well too for this team. They always have those two in the back were very exciting and dynamic as well too. They did lose John Collins in the offseason, of course. That's going to be, I think, a little bit hit when he went to Utah in the offseason. So it's going to be interesting how much a loss he's going to affect this team. We know they still have Clinton Capella, Bogdan Bogdanovic coming to the bench as well too, who I think played for the Serbia team during the World Cup, and they won the silver medal as well too. So good for him. Hopefully he can build off that. Playing really well in the Cup this past summer. Hopefully he can help the Atlanta Hawks out a little bit more this year. We know Bogdan is a very good ball player. He brings a lot to the table for this team. I like Atlanta. I think they're still a very solid basketball team. This is a team I think is very much still a playoff team as well too. Can they try to avoid the playing tournament this year? Of course. Can they get to the more, the 1-16, of course? We know they're going to have to battle Milwaukee. They're going to have to battle Boston, Philadelphia, of course. Philadelphia, Cleveland, the Knicks. But, can they fight and get into that spot? I look at Atlanta. I see them somewhere between the 6 to 8 seed, in my opinion. That's as far as I see them. I mean, I think they're still a playoff team. I think they still compete for a playoff spot. But I see them more as a 6 to 8 seed team in the East Conference this year, of course. But like I said, you never know. Things bounce the right way, of course, and they keep rolling. But like I said, Trae Young is a great ball player. You know what I'm saying? DeJounte Murray brings a lot to the table, of course. It's going to be interesting to see. Of course, they did go out and add Patty Mills and also Richard guard. Should be nice in the team. Of course, we know he has a lot of experience playing with the San Antonio Spurs as well, too, all those years. In Brooklyn as well, too. So he should be a nice addition to this roster. Hopefully, he can give the veteran presence they need in the backcourt to help take some pressure off of Trae Young and DeJounte Murray as well too. But we'll have to wait and see. But that's my thoughts and my opinions about the Atlanta Hawks going into this season. All right, guys, that is the Southwest Division, guys. We got through it. Whew. All right, it was a lot of fun, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, guys. Like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Let me know down in the comments below. Do you think Miami's going to get back to the finals again this course? What do you think about the whole Miles Bridges situation? Do you think the Washington Wizards revamped team is going to make some noise this year? Do you think the Orlando Magic, with their young roster, is going to keep growing, keep getting better, and challenge for a playoff spot? Do you think Atlanta is going to get higher than the 6th seed this year and maybe be a top 5 seed this year in the East? We'll have to wait and see, guys. We're bringing you guys some more NBA content, guys. We'll be in the next NBA division very, very soon. And the last East Conference division we're going to talk about coming up very soon, which I believe is Atlantic Division. Guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video, guys. You guys can find me on Facebook, Gerald McIntosh. You guys can find me on YouTube, on TikTok, called the GMAC Show, of course, guys. Much love to you, and we're going to keep hooping. Peace.